If I make any mistakes during this video, I'm just going to blame it on the fact that my mustache hairs are like curling in over my upper lip, so... Yep. What's up, you guys? Welcome to my happy place. So I don't know how many of you guys are sports people, and I don't know how many of you guys are American people, and I definitely don't know how many of you guys are American sports people, but if you are none of those things, all you need to realize for this story is that the World Series of baseball is a really big deal. I am not a sports person, or rather I should say I am no longer a sports person, and this story is probably a big reason why that's the case. So you'll notice that it's a little bit darker outside, and that's because I'm filming this part a little bit later while editing this video, because I realized that I made a mistake, and it was not the World Series, it is the playoffs that I'm referring to in this video. So for the remainder of the video, whenever I say the word World Series in reference to the actual story, realize I am referring to the playoffs. This really goes to show you how well I know sports and remember things. Anyways, back to the story. A little bit of history background for this story. The New York Yankees' biggest rival is the Boston Red Sox, and vice versa. In 1900, the Red Sox traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees. Widely considered a bad move, considering they did not win another World Series for about 80 years after that. This was colloquially referred to as the curse of the Bambino. So pretty much since then, the Yankees don't like the Red Sox, and the Red Sox don't like the Yankees. By extension, Red Sox fans hate the Yankees, and Yankees fans hate the Red Sox. So of course, my father, the Yankees fan, married my mother, the Red Sox fan. And that didn't really have much of an effect on their marriage at all. It was just sort of something that came up every once in a while. They would argue about sports teams, and then they would hug and kiss it out afterward. It was fine. It was fine until the 2004 World Series, when the Yankees faced off against, guess who? The Boston Red Sox, who, might I remind you, had not won a World Series in 80-some-odd years, going up against the New York Yankees, who won a World Series pretty much every other year. So a lot of bad blood going on there. I was a Yankees fan like my father, and I was diehard. I was only about 7 years old, but I was as into it as a 7-year-old can be. If I remember correctly, the Yankees won the first 3 games of the 7-game series, and things were looking good. All of a sudden, Red Sox come back with 3-game wins in a row, and things are looking less good for the Yankees. This story takes place during the end of the final game, because I'm sitting there watching with no concept of the Yankees actually losing a game, because they won every year and I'd only been alive for 7 short years. I really should have done research to remember the details of this story, but somebody hit a home run for the Red Sox at the end of the game and effectively ended the Yankees' hopes of winning the World Series that year. At this point, I feel the need to reiterate just how hungry Red Sox fans were for a victory. Not just because it was the World Series and they had not won one in years, but because it was against their biggest rivals. People that they hate more than pretty much anything else. Bostonians hate Yankees more than they hate the letter R. So when that home run was hit and my tiny hopes were dashed, in that moment, I turned and looked up to my mother, the woman who cared for me my whole life, and she said to me, "Oh yeah! Woo! Suck it! Suck it!" She was very excited. But in the wake of my mother's excitement, I burst out crying, because I was dealing with 2 emotions that I didn't know how to deal with. One, the Yankees losing, and then 2, my mother celebrating at me crying. And I don't blame my mom, because the joy was just so real from her. It was the happiest I've ever seen her. And it wasn't because I was upset, and she was rubbing it in my face and my father's face, because we had been trash talking literally the whole week before that. Because we were Yankees fans, and that's what Yankees fans do. They talk shit. And there was just such euphoria at being able to talk shit back, finally. So yeah, I stopped watching baseball after that. The experience kind of ruined it for me. But yeah, that's my baseball story. If you like this video, please like, comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm closing in on 1,000 subscribers, and I would really like to hit that goal sometime soon. That would be super cool. I make videos every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I'm actually probably going to switch up the format sometime soon. I don't know how many of these story times I'm going to keep pumping out. I'm only one man, and I only have a finite amount of stories to share, and I do have a lot more I'd like to share, but I think the Tuesday show is probably going to become a lot more like the Thursday show. And then I'll throw in a story time every couple of Tuesdays from now on, just to keep things interesting. Anyways, from my happy place, I'm Zach. I'm very scruffy. Now go away. Hi.